Welcome, my friends, to the class of BUSI 1307, Personal Finance. My name is Randy Saleh. I am Assistant Professor of Business here at Tarrant County College, and I'll be your instructor for this semester. This is an orientation video, so we can get out underway some of the basics. We're going to go over and outline what the class is like, syllabus. We can get this done so when we meet on class our first day, we can get right into personal finance. I'm excited. I think this is the most important class you could ever take during your college career. I know we've had courses like math, government, history, and English and other things that you've had a lot of throughout your probably secondary career in elementary, junior high, high school, and maybe you've taken some college classes already. The reason I think this is the most important class you take because it's all about you, and it's all about your money and your finances from now to the end of your life. And I hope to impart some good wisdom to you where you can start doing some good things in the realm of personal finance. I like to start any class with the why and the what and the how we're going to do this. The why. Why are we taking this class? Well, it's transferable course to all colleges and universities. Boom. How about that? What's also great is this is now, personal finance is a part of the AA in business to the BBA in business field of study. So this course will transfer to all major university business degrees. It's a part of your field and study, and once you get that field of study completed, and you should complete that at Tarrant County College, it transfers as a block, and now you go in as a junior, and you start taking junior level classes. I think that's great. I worked real hard to get that done, and at the state Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board on the field of study in business, and so I'm excited for that. So this is a great course, fully transferable. Wait a second, I'm not a business major. Great. It's transferable to all other degrees as electives. And so if you're social work, nursing, engineering, whatever your field may be, you don't have to be in business. And most students are not a business major. So that's what's the great part about this. This is a great why you should take the course. It's going to go with you, and you're going to learn some stuff that you just will not ever learn anywhere else in any other type of class. So that's great stuff. Why, the why, the why. Surviving in chaos. Most of us have grown up, even for those of us not born in this millennia. The last 25, 30 years, again, depending on when you're taking this course, has almost been like a very strange movie we've all been a part of, between 9/11, between the pandemics that have happened, the wars, the recession. It's been chaotic. And it wasn't always this chaotic growing up in pre-2000s. Life was pretty much very stable. And Michael Crichton, who's my favorite author, you've probably heard the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park franchise of books and movies. He wrote those books, and he also wrote the first two screenplays of the Jurassic series. And he wrote a lot of other great books. He came out with a theory called chaos theory. Actually, he's a Russian mathematician, but Crichton really put that into use because he was also an actual MD doctor. Systems that we think should be stable: economics, education, healthcare. I mean, these shouldn't have terrible amounts of change in some of these ideas. At least it wasn't. And now there's tremendous chaos of change. What happens is some sort of unpredictable variable, a random disruptive technology has come in and has reshaped the landscape almost in every field that we look at. So we've got to survive in that, my friends. We've got to be able to survive, which is difficult in a very chaotic world, and our finances will play a huge part of that. 70% of Americans, you're going to see this throughout the class as we partake this semester, have no clue about their finances. Now, you just take a second and digest that number. That is a huge number. There are 350 some odd American citizens that have been in the census, citizens, resident aliens, and no clue. So let's say 70% of families, say there's 100 million families in the United States, just to make a nice easy number, 70 million, really don't have an idea or probably fearful to understand more of what they might be dreading, the debt they may carry, the things like that, the amount of money that they're not getting. Yeah, that's a real good reason we should take this course, my friends. The why and the changing the status quo. Do we want to be a part of that 70%? Do we want to do better? You know, we've got to change the quo in Michael Crichton's chaos theory. Basically, something always, these are concentric circles. So the way our economy grows in the United States is through the growth of our gross domestic product, which grows about 3% per year if we're in a good stage. So a new technology comes on, and here's that new technology. Where do you want to be? Do you want to play it safe and be back here? Well, that can lead to extinction. Do we want to push the envelope and go over the edge? Well, that leads to extinction as well. We've got to embrace whatever is happening, certainly in the world of our finances, and start changing the status quo. We can't be back here. We've got to push it to the edge. If we leave all our money in a bank account, it will do absolutely nothing. In fact, it'll do worse than nothing. It will actually lose value because something called inflation that we have seen in the last several years has been really eating away at the money that Americans have. So we've got to change the status quo. That's a good reason why we're taking this class. All right, we're going to do some better things. We're going to become a part of the top 30%. What are the objectives of this course? Absolutely. I like to teach with 3 areas, my friends: relevancy, practicality, and simplicity. I think this is a very relevant class. I want to make it practical, and I need to make it simple. That is the most eloquent design, according to Leonardo da Vinci. Things that you could use every day to start winning in the world of personal finance. How to plan, how to set goals, how to look at cash flow planning, how to understand the rule of 72, which is an important rule of finance, and use it to our advantage. Okay, that's very relevant in our lives. What about debt? Most of those 70% of American families are living in a S-E-A of debt. Yeah, we've got to be able to learn how to pay off debt so we're not getting it dragging us down all the time. And student loans are a big decision that we're all going to have to make in the next few years. Well, we pay off our money, we look at things that we're doing, and what about investing money? That would be pretty big too. How we can grow our money. That's what we're going to look at in this course. And of course, we need insurance, retirement and estate planning. Well, you know, I'm only 20 years old. Why do I need to start looking at that right now? Because now is a great time to start building a retirement plan. So when you look at that time, you're going to be in great shape. You know, we want to get your accounts to $1 or $2 million, and we're going to show you the steps of how to do that. Also, in estate planning, you may have parents right now, depending on where you are in life, or grandparents that are coming into a phase of their life where they are needing to look at their estates. I've been through it with my parents, my wife's parents, my grandparents, and so I hope I can wrap that course up with you with a few things you can do to preserve the wealth that you create for yourself and your family. So now we look at the how. We have the why, we have the what. How will this class go? So this is what we call a hybrid or blended class. This is the best of both worlds versus just a strict online class where you never get to meet your instructor or talk to them or have any questions. You get that with me, and we also have the flexibility of the online world. Whatever day you had on your schedule, that's the day you meet. And then we have online resources. All of the assignments in this class will be done online. Now there will be a couple of in-class assignments just to get us through, but I'll also have I'll have a way for you if you can't make that. But we'll do maybe a couple of in-class assignments. But for the most part, exams, projects, and discussion boards, that's going to fuel this course. You'll have a course organizer, it's already ready to go, and you follow that. So come in for a good lecture, we'll go through the course, I'll go through the lesson at hand, and then we'll have assignments that we work on in the online. And it gives you a lot of flexibility with your schedule. I think you're going to like that. Now, the time we do come, I think is very important. So, a couple of the, details that you would have in any course. We do have a attendance policy. And so, if we miss 4 or 5 classes, you may be dropped for non-attendance, or at least something would populate in my attendance chart that says the student could be dropped. Well, if you miss 4 or 5 times, you're literally missing a full month. So if you are going to be out an extended period of time for different reasons, let me know, find me, email me, maybe talk to me before or after class, so we can figure out something for you. Okay, we can work around that. But if you're just not wanting to come, you're going to miss a lot. You're going to miss a lot of great stuff in here. Now, I do not drop a student. I want to make that clear. I don't drop students for non-attendance. If I'm my own student in my class and I don't show up, don't think I am going to drop you. Many students say, hey, he's going to drop me, so I'm cool. I don't do that. That's your money. It's your financial aid. It's your scholarship. It's your grant, whatever that is. That is your responsibility. So just letting us know, I do not drop a student. You need to drop yourself if you don't want to take the class anymore. And I hope it does not come to that, my friends. I really don't. We're going to be in class a little bit of the time. We're going to get the information, let it sink in. Have other resources for you online. Spend some time outside of class. Again, I have students that sometimes will study for a government class in my class because they have a test. And I'm saying, what are you doing? Oh, I have a government test. Well, what's that going to do for you? That's not going to do anything for you or your career. This is a life-changing class. So, that makes me very upset when students want to do something different than to learn this great information. So be prepared to read through the text and do the projects and get that going on there. Phones. Yes. Calls, texts, scrolling. There's plenty of time before class or after class. If you need an emergency, step outside to take that call. I'll just be real honest. If the best a student can do is scroll on their phone the entire class, I will ask you to leave. Okay? I'll just say, you don't need to show up anymore. Figure out a way to get the class done. The reason it's extraordinarily disruptive for me to give you a lecture when everyone's just scrolling. And if everyone is scrolling, don't be surprised when I just say, you know what, we're going to end the class today and we'll take it up another day to see if we can come back on that. Hey, children on campus, that's if you have a younger brother or sister, or if you have a son or daughter or cousin or nephew or niece, don't bring them on campus if there's a holiday in the school or you don't know what to do. If suddenly you're in charge of their care for the day, because and let them sit outside and just do their homework or play with their iPad. That's a Class C misdemeanor, and I have seen it done many times. Usually it's done, I see it a lot more at night because I also teach on the night there. So, you know what, if you got to be in care of a child, we can figure out something else for you. But don't bring them on campus or let them in the library. And I'm talking about, 8 to 13-year-olds, unless they're in a class here. We don't want you to get we don't want you to have a misdemeanor, we want a criminal record for you. That's not what we want. Certainly don't want you to have a criminal record on the campus carry. That is a very delicate and interesting laws that have been passed. If you believe it's your right to carry a firearm, then you definitely want to talk to our police and say, and what are all the parameters? Real quickly, we've had at least 2 employees that I know that have not only been fired, but they were also charged with a felony offense because they carried their gun improperly. They put it in their desk while they went to the restroom, and somebody saw them do that. They did not like that. The employee actually carried a gun, and they called the police and said, "Is this legal to do?" They said, "Nope." The person came back from the restroom, and 4 officers were there. They were handcuffed. They had to go to court. They lost their job, and I don't know how you get another job after that, because probably cost the person 10 grand in legal fees. Felony offense means you'll never carry a gun again. All sorts of bad stuff just because they thought they were doing something right and they didn't do it the correct way. That's why if you believe it's your right, you definitely want to look at all the legislation. For Tarrant County College regulations, we also have a child center on campus, which means it cannot be within, I believe, 100 yards of the child care center, and that's just by walking by. Hey, your choice, but I would hate for anyone's career to be really messed up. And again, the 2 people who do get fired, their career's really messed up. There you go on campus carry. On Title IX reporting, Tarrant County College wants to protect and always create a safe learning environment. So if a student has any problems that they feel they'd like to report, if something makes them feel uncomfortable, and you tell that to any employee on Tarrant County College, we do take action. We will have a care team report. A care team will contact you and help you in that situation, whether it's from food scarcity to living arrangement scarcity. You need some help, whether you feel uncomfortable that someone has said or done something to you. Title IX, we are protecting our students. If you would like to ever talk to a personal counselor, we do have some wonderful counselors, 6 or 7 on campus, and everything that you say to them will be in confidentiality, and they will get you to the right resources that you would ever need. And I'm happy to walk you over to the counseling department if you would like me to, and make an appointment. They are located in the Student Union building. There we go. Yes, you do need good computer access. I do believe one thing you should splurge on, even in the world of personal finance, is great technology. It's going to do you wonders throughout your college career and, of course, your career itself. So always look online. If you miss a class, don't email me and say, "Hey man, what did I miss?" It's all there. It's all on our Canvas page. I treat this much like the class I do online. Always invest in a good flash drive to back up your work. I would get even a SanDisk terabyte, which is about $100, and in free class you have every assignment. You're protecting your digital content, and that's very important in this world. Textbook, it's already there for you. I'm going to show you how you get that. You can always purchase a hard copy online, but this was part of your tuition, and we'll go over that when we're in class, but I can show you how to get it to it right now. And hey, there's the great group The Who. I'm looking forward to getting to know you this semester. So here we are, my friends. Course syllabus as we're working through our orientation. This is where you're going to find everything. You'll always default to the home page, and there's the syllabus that's going to give you everything. I give you a little welcome. I give you my learning objectives, which we've already gone over, our expectation, and our course grades. So right here, we do have the assignment set up for us, and I'm excited about these. I have completely overhauled this course and really pulled in some really good relevant assignments, and you are going to be able on many of them to use an AI platform to help you get those questions solved, certainly in the investment stage. So we have an orientation quiz, we have an assessment, we're going to do a budget, we're going to do resume project. That is going to be different than anyone you've ever done before. And so read through these. You will need Adobe Acrobat. I'm going to say that several times in this video from now on, and certainly in the first day of class. You'll need Acrobat Reader. That's free. because all of these projects are going, I have a template for you, which is the great part. I have templates that I've spent many and many of hours completing and redoing and revising. All you have to do is put the numbers in, and you can type in your answers, your reflection. So it's going to be easier for me to grade, and you'll have a binder at the end of this class that you can put all your PDFs in. So yes, you need the free Adobe Acrobat Reader. Download that. It's on the home page. Let me just go to that home page real quick. And as your orientation, there it is, free Acrobat Reader. If a student tries to put any of my assignments in a different format, then it is a 50% reduction in grade. Yeah, so it's super easy. Get it, it's free. There we go. Going through that syllabus, these are your projects, and you'll be able to find these very easily. They're all on your modules. Yeah, we're going to be going over these in class, but I'm just giving you a little bit of a head start here. 800 points, so that will be our point total for the class, and these are going to be your grades. And of course, you always check your My Grades link to find your grade at any given time. A little bit about late work again. You know what? Procrastination is our greatest enemy in college, and it certainly will be in the workforce and our employers who employ graduates. I mean, we're talking employers across the United States. Well, guess what? I mean, our competition are AI systems, and so they're never late. We can't be either. I have my written policy on late work, so some assignments I'm going to accept, but there's always going to be a price, and again, they could be 30% reductions to 50% reductions. So just do your stuff on time. We're going to be fine. This is the course organization right in here. We have 4 units that we're doing: planning your financial future, the culture of debt, investments, and completing your financial plan. And here is the actual course organizer. Again, you're going to be looking at this all the time, but all times are at 11 p.m., all due times. So, like the orientation quiz, due Friday. Now, this course you may be taking in a spring or a summer or a fall. So, whatever date it says, it will be due at 11 p.m. on those days. So, we're looking at the assignments we would do right in here for our Module 1, our Module 2, our Module 3, and then the last one is a quick one, completing your financial plan. Some semesters may be a little bit different, so we're going to be very flexible, but for the long semesters that I teach this class, fall and spring, this is how it's going to look. There's our attendance policy. Please read through that. There's our communication for the course. Again, I will send out emails and I will send out announcements. And the syllabus is just very important. When you finish all this, you are going to be ready to take your orientation quiz. And it's just a little contract is all it is, that I've read through my information. I've read my orientation. I'm excited about this class to take. And I'm excited about showing you this class and leading you through it. There we go. That's what the modules will look like if you're brand new to Canvas and this might be your first semester taking it. And these are our assignments. Everything will be ready once those modules open. Now we do one module at a time. We don't open the entire class on day one. I don't want to do that. Let's just keep exactly what may be ahead of us, my friends, that we need. And that is right in front of us. And so what's right in front of us when we start this class is going to be our orientation quiz, our introductions in networking, discussion board, which we have a few of, and then we're going to go right into our module, and I have all sorts of resources for you. Through, here's how to get your McGraw-Hill, okay, your book. Let's hit the McGraw-Hill website. Should be open, so if you do get a chance to watch this video before classes start, you hit your McGraw-Hill Connect, and it will hopefully be a little bit faster with you. I'm doing this on a weekend evening, and sometimes things don't run as fast as they do during the business day. But it'll link you right to your course. It will ask you to put your email in. I would probably use, here we go to my Connect section. I'd probably use your TCC, email my TCC, and there we are again, just depending on what semester you're in. You go right to the site, and it's going to ask you to sign in. If for any reason it asks you to say, oh, you need to pay money to get in here, let me know in class, send me an email, something's wrong, and I just need to contact McGraw-Hill. Okay. Hopefully it will come in, look like this. This is the ebook right in here, and this is, let's go ahead and open that link in a new tab. Oh, it's been blocked. All right, so let's launch it again. So that's how you launch it. That's how you read your book. You can probably get this on your iPad or your Surface, whatever pad you have, or your phone. It's a great idea to utilize some sort of computing, a laptop or desktop, my friends. Phones don't really work well in this world of learning management systems, of McGraw-Hill or even Cengage. So again, get yourself a good computer. You can always use any of our computers on campus, and as long as you have good internet. So here are everything you need, and every module, unit, lesson has exactly the chapters that you need to read. So I believe we're basically going through the first 5 chapters for Unit 1. Then we go on sequentially right through here. Good book. Again, section dashboard. If you keep playing around with this, you'll be able to if you wanted to, you could actually buy a paper copy that you put into a 3-ring binder for like $40. It's one of the best books I've ever seen in personal finance. That's why I continue to use it. You could even get a used copy online, eBay, Amazon, and elder editions would be fine too, just for your own, your own use. But some really good financial knowledge right in here. Yours will look a little bit different than mine because mine is on the instructor route. If you have any type of problems, my friends, you're going to look at their help desk right in here. They'll have some help for you anytime you when you get into yours. If your system doesn't use it, it works best on Google Chrome or Mozilla or Microsoft Edge. Safari, which I do like, it does not work well on Safari. It does not work on some other browsers. So utilize Google Chrome, Mozilla, or Microsoft Edge on that. There we are. I think that'll get us enough, my friends, to get us back to our classroom setting. So there we have it. Our orientation is complete. Go ahead and take that orientation quiz that first week of course. I'm excited to teach this class. I'm excited to see you on the first day of class as well, my friends. Let's make it a great semester.